Hey guys, in continuation to problem number 6, 7, 8 and 9, in this video we'll cover problem number 10. Okay, let's start off. The trading profit and loss account of Dumble Trading Private Limited, having business of agricultural produce, consumed items and other products for the year ended 31st March 2020, which is his under. He's given you trading account, he's given you profit and loss account. Let's check what your trading account has. It has opening stock of 3,75,000, purchases, freight and cartage, and then your credit side has sales and closing stock. Okay, and your profit and loss, it has got bonus to staff, rent of premises, advertisement, bad debts, interest on loans, depreciation, GST demand, miscellaneous expenses, and then your credit side has gross profit, which is again transferred from your trading account, your income tax refund and warehousing charges. Okay, now look, let's see the adjustment entries. What are the adjustments that have been given? On scrutiny of records, the following further information and details were extracted. There was a survey under section 133. Section 133A is nothing but it gives the power to the income tax department to survey on the business of the SSA. Okay, there was a survey under section 133A on the business premises on 31st March 2020, in which it was revealed that the value of closing stock on 31/3/2019. 31/3/2019, this is the previous financial year from what we are dealing with. We are dealing with 2019-20. This closing stock pertains to 2018-19. He's telling you that closing stock on 31/3/2019 was 8,75,000. So when you observe this, your opening stock this year should be 3,75,000. It should be 8,75,000, but here you only have 3,75,000. So you have to correct this particular amount. And then he's also saying sale of rupees 75,000 made on 13/3/2020 was not recorded in the books. Okay, so an amount of 75,000 has to be added to your existing sales here. And then he's also telling you the value of the closing stock after considering these facts, and on the basis of the inventory prepared by the department as on 31/3/2020, it worked out to 12,50,000, which was accepted to be correct, and it is not disputed even by the SSC. So your closing stock here will be 12,50,000. That will be your first adjustment. Then let's go and check the second one. Income tax refund includes an amount of rupees 4,750 of interest allowed thereon. So your income tax refund, that is, you have it in the profit and loss credit side, they have considered this as an income. However, income tax refund is not an income at all. It is the tax which you have paid earlier, which you are receiving it again in this year. Okay. However, the interest on income tax refund is considered as income, but it will not be treated as income under PGBP. That will be considered under income from other sources of this particular business. So, out of 20,000, keeping aside the 4,000 approximate part, the remaining amount will be considered it will not be considered as income. Okay. However, the interest part will be considered as income under other sources. Now the third point, bonus to staff includes an amount of rupees 7,500 paid in the month of December 2019, which was provided in the books on 31st of March 2019. Okay, now this particular point, it belonged to the earlier year, though it was provided in the books on 31st March 2019, that is the last year, it will be disallowed. Okay, and this year, since the bonus which belonged to the earlier year was paid in this year, it will be permitted as deduction in this present financial year. So what you have to consider here is section 43B. 43B clearly tells you that whenever any payment, not any payment, a few set of you can say statutory payments, which includes gratuity, bonus or tax, only on the basis of payment you will be permitted a deduction. All right. However, it is okay even if you make the payment up to the date of filing your return. But here you generally file your return on September. Okay. And here he has made the payment in the month of December. So technically last year it will be disallowed, and that section also says you will be permitted a deduction in the year in which you are paying it. So here he has paid it in December. So in this particular the year, that is 2019-20, you will be permitted with the deduction. The next one, rent of premises include an amount of rupees 5,500 incurred on repairs. The SSC was under no obligation to incur such expenses as per rental agreement. So you don't have to enter into an agreement to incur expenditure on your business. Okay, so any expenditure incurred even on the repairs, okay, incurred on repairs where your business is situated is permitted as deduction. Rent of premises includes an amount of rupees 5,500 incurred on repairs. Then the SSC was under no obligation to incur such expenses. However, although he's not obligated, he can definitely incur such expenditure and it will be permitted as well. The next one, fifth point, advertisement expenses included an amount of rupees 2,500 paid for advertisement published in the souvenir issued by a political party. The payment is made by account payee check. However, it does not matter whether it is made through check or it is made through cash. The moment it is to a political party, it is disallowed under the provisions of PGBP. That is, it is disallowed by section 37. I think 37, just a second. 37 2B. When you look at section 37 2B, okay, it is disallowing all such expenses. However, you can again reclaim that particular investment or expenditure under section 80, that is chapter 6A. Now, so this particular amount will be disallowed and subsequently you can claim it under chapter 6A. And then the sixth point, miscellaneous expenses include an amount of rupees 15,000 paid towards penalty for non-fulfillment of delivery conditions of a contract or of sale for reason beyond control. The reason is beyond control and it is just non-fulfillment of delivery conditions. That is, it is not breach of law, it is breach of contract. Okay, they are not complying. Breach of, if there is breach of the agreement, you can claim the deduction. However, if it is breach of law, you cannot. So here it is just breach of few conditions. It is non-fulfillment of conditions. It's not breach of law literally. So this is permitted. Then the second point, amount of rupees 1 lakh paid to the wife of a director who is working as a junior lawyer for taking an opinion on the disputed matter. The junior advocate of high courts normally charge only 25,000 for the same opinion. So considering the general market conditions, he has charged an amount of approximately 75,000 more. He has charged 75,000 more, yes. And so the amount, that particular amount will be added back. And only 25,000 which has already been there will be allowed. Amount of rupees 1 lakh paid to an electoral trust by check. This amount is not permitted, okay, and it will be added back to your your PGBP, your profits and gains from business and profession. It will be added back. However, you can claim a deduction again under section 80G. And the seventh point, GST demand includes an amount of rupees 5,300 charges penalty for delayed payment, for delayed filing of return. So this is penalty. Any penalty which is levied is not permitted under PGBP. And rupees 12,750 towards interest for delay in deposit of tax. 12,750 which is interest for delay in the deposit of tax, it forms a part of the tax itself. So this is permitted. However, 5,300 is not permitted. And then the eighth point, the company had made an investment of 25 lakhs on construction of a warehouse in rural area for the purpose of storage of agricultural produce. This was made available for use from 15th of September 2019, and the income from this activity is credited in the profit and loss account under warehousing charges. Now this particular point, it is a specified investment, okay, investment in specified business. So this particular 25 lakhs, you will get a deduction of 100%, and also this particular income, where is it? Yeah, any income from this particular thing also will not be considered under PGBP. It is, though it is considered under PGBP, it will be put under separate head. And the last point, depreciation under Income Tax Act. This particular point is just for your additional information. Whatever depreciation is given in the profit and loss, if it is as per Companies Act, you will add it back and then you will deduct this particular depreciation which is permitted. And the last point, interest on loans includes an amount of rupees 80,000 on which tax was not deducted. So whenever you don't deduct TDS on any amount which you are paying, okay, you will be disallowed an amount equivalent to 30%. Okay, so an amount of 30% will be disallowed on whatever has been paid. Then he's asking you to compute the income chargeable to tax for assessment year 2020-21 of Dumble Trading Private Limited. Ignoring math, support your answer with working notes. Now your previous year is 2019-20, assessment year is 2020-21. When you consider this, the actual profit and loss prior to adjustment, it is 33,90,000, which is given in your balance sheet. It's in your profit and loss, 33,90,000. This is the amount which has been taken here. First you'll take the net profit as per profit and loss account, 33,90,000. To these you will add those items which are disallowed. That is, you have to add back. These are disallowed. This will form part of your profit. This is not permitted to be this is not permitted as a deduction, but you have claimed a few things as your deduction, so you have to add it back. So your net profit will increase as and when you add these, and few items, okay, they'll be added back because they'll be considered separately. Now when you consider the stock which we have discussed, that is, let's go to the first working note. Here your opening stock is 8,75,000. Why is this so? Because in the first point, if you remember, you can go back and check. He's clearly stated that your closing stock was undervalued. Your closing stock was undervalued. So when you adjust it with the amount given in your question, let's go back here. Closing stock on 31/3/2019 was 8,75,000. Okay, your closing stock for last year will become opening stock for this year, but your opening stock here is only 3,75,000. So last year they have mentioned it as 3,75,000. Now that was adjusted to 8,75,000. Now your opening stock will become 8,75,000. And then where are your working notes? Here. And then an amount of rupees 75,000 was not considered in the sale amount. So you'll add back an amount of rupees 75,000 to your sale amount. As a result of these two things, your closing stock is increasing to 12,50,000, which is not disputed by the SSE. Okay, so your gross profit, which is again changing, is 32,99,000. The difference of gross profit will be 3,75,000. That is the difference between the profit which you arrived at now after alteration and then your earlier profit which is given in the question. That is the trading account. The difference will be 3,75,000. Now that you will mention it here. The difference is fundamentally because of the difference in stock. That is because of the undervaluation, and also you have not considered sale of 75,000. Difference in the value of stock, you arrive at 3,75,000. So this you have to add it back. Okay, and the second point, advertisement in souvenir of political party. This particular item is disallowed under section 37 2B. Okay, advertisement in the souvenir of political party, this is 2,500. It will be disallowed here. It will be added to the profit here, but then under section 80 GGB subsequently you will be permitted. Later under chapter 6A you can claim deduction, like yes. The third point, payment made to wife of the director. Here the director, the company has paid an amount of almost rupees 75,000 in excess of what is generally being charged in the market. So this is an item which is over and above that which is paid, so it is disallowed. You will add it back to the profit. Payment made to an electoral trust by check. Though it is paid by check, it is allowed and it is disallowed under PGBP. However, you can claim deduction under chapter 6, that is I think 80G, section 80G. And then penalty levied by sales tax. This is again disallowed since it is a penalty. Okay, this is disallowed, you cannot claim. So this is added back. Depreciation as per books is 71,500. This will be added back. However, you can subsequently claim deduction for whatever is permitted under Income Tax Act. And then I allowed items. Okay, you have got this one more point. 30% of the depreciation paid on loan. If you observe in the question, they have stated that here the 10th point, interest on loan includes an amount of rupees 80,000 on which tax was not deducted. Since tax is not deducted, 30% of the amount will be disallowed. Okay, the same thing is being added back here because it is disallowed. Now, after adding back, your profit will be elevated from 33,90,000 to 40,43,300. Now, after this, there are few items which you have considered as your income, but then they are not your income actually. So you can reduce them from your PGBP. Here, income tax refund and interest. This is actually added back because this is not your income. First thing is an amount of approximately, where I'll tell you, let's go, let's not be vague. Okay, here the second point, he says income tax refund includes an amount of rupees 4,750 of interest allowed thereon. So interest component on income tax refund, that is an income from other sources. You cannot claim it under PGBP. That is, you cannot consider it as an income from PGBP. So here he is adding back income tax refund and interest of rupees 20,000. Okay. And then depreciation allowed as per Income Tax Act. You have added back depreciation as per books above. So you have to reduce depreciation which is allowed as per income tax. So what is your depreciation allowable as per income tax? This is again given in the question. Okay, not calculating this anyway. Now, keeping everything apart, income from specified businesses 15 lakhs. Okay. One second. Here you have this particular amount, warehousing charges, income from warehousing. Okay, when you let out your warehousing, you are receiving an income of 15 lakhs. That is income from specified business. So you will calculate that separately. Income from specified business. You will add this back here, and then after adding back, income from business will be calculated first. That is other than specified business, which comes down to 24,58,300. Then after calculating this, you will consider income from specified business. Now, what is your income from specified business? It is 15 lakhs, which is given in your profit and loss account. Okay. From that, you will reduce the investment part. Whatever you invest, you are permitted for a deduction of 100% under section 35 AD. Okay, you have invested 25 lakhs. So out of your income which is generated, you have you're reducing whatever you have invested. As a result of that, loss from specified businesses 10 lakhs, which can be again carried forward to the subsequent years as well. And then here, income from other sources. Okay, you have your income on income tax refund, that is 4,570. When you add all these together, you arrive at 24,62,870. And few things which have been added up earlier, that is contribution to political fund, that is contribution for advertisement in the political souvenir, and also contribution made to the electoral electoral trust. Yeah, so these two you can claim deduction under 80 GGB. Contribution to political party and contribution to electoral trust under 80 GGB. It is not 80G. I think I told you deduction under section 80G, but then it is 80 GGB. Both of them are 80 GGB. And then your total income is 23,60,370. And then coming to the working notes, the same thing what we have discussed has been mentioned here. The amount of rupees 2,500 paid for advertisement in the souvenir issued by political party attracts disallowance under section 37 subsection 2b. However, such expenditure falls within the meaning assigned to contribute under section 293A of the Companies Act 1956 and hence is eligible for deduction under section 80 GGB. So this is about the contribution to political parties. And the expenditure which is incurred for the wife of the director, that is your second point. Payment made to electoral trust, it qualifies for deduction under section 80G since the payment is made by way of check. This is 80GGB. And then the interest of rupees 12,750 paid on the delayed deposit of GST is for breach of contract, and answer is allowable as deduction. However, penalty of rupees 5,300 for delay of filing of returns is not allowed since it is breach of law. Got it? And then bonus has already been discussed. The same thing, the penalty of rupees 15,000 paid for non-fulfillment of delivery conditions of contract for reasons beyond control is not breach of law, but it was breach of contractual obligations, and therefore it is an allowable expenditure. I hope you're clear. Okay, thank you.